Morning, everyone. It's 8:20 on Tuesday, the 11th, and there's not much in the way of economic news reports coming out. Just NFIB, small business optimism, and that is 92.1, up 0.3% from last month. There's a whole lot of breakdown, but it hasn't been published yet. Different areas, whether they're adding inventory, etc. When it gets posted, I'll put it in tonight's closing comment. Asia and Europe are both lower. The guys who are going on strike in the transportation, 12,000 of them, looks like they're going on strike. They did not approve that, quote, Biden led agreement. Um, the UK had to step into the market for the second time in 2 days. And as an added little positive here for the dollar, which is, of course, negative, uh, the yen is getting very close to intervention prices. So, we just don't know how that's going to work out. Okay, the chart on the screen is the Dow, and I just want to show you how erratic it has been. Last night at around 8 o'clock, it was up here in the 29.3 area, and no news or anything. It just collapsed down to, let's see, 29.1. So sold off 200, stabilized, worked a little higher, and then around 2 o'clock in the morning, it had fallen from 29,170 to the low of 28.9. So 28, yeah, 28,950. So another 200-point sell off, back and forth. And when I woke up this morning, it was down here in the just under 29,000. And all of a sudden, we are actually down 11 after being down 250 to 300. So, very erratic market. Um, and I don't know what to make about it other than it's thin at night, and I know that I've warned you about relying on that because it's so thin. But today's the first day that we'll have the bond market to give us a hint about what's going on. Okay, Leggett and Platt, symbol LEG, 32 down 268 or 7%. Inflation, lower need for their product. They do a lot of work in steel. So Leggett and Platt is a pretty big old line firm. So we'll see what happens there. AstraZeneca is basically unchanged. They had a setback in their nasal version of the COVID vaccine. On the other hand, Dice, DICE, Dice Pharmaceutical, this is a company that did 12 million shares at 17 last year. The stock moved up as high as 40 after the offering, came all the way back down to 13, and spent most of this year between 12 and 20, currently trading $46 and change. Let me just make sure I have that. It has traded as high as 50.77. Last is 46.77, and that's up about 22 and change. Unlike AstraZeneca, these guys have a pill form of a psoriasis drug so that people who have the problem, which is basically inflammation, as are most medical problems, um, can take it in a pill instead of taking it in a shot. And, I mention it in relation to AstraZeneca because it just shows you Dice specializes in drugs that were under patent between the 1990s and the early 2000s for repurposing or a different delivery. Uh, and so it's kind of interesting because with a different delivery, you can actually repatent. Okay, Coinbase chosen by Google to handle purchases in Bitcoin. The stock is 70.46, and that's up 344. But really, this has become kind of just a commoditized area. In 2021, the stock was as high as 429. It then topped out after falling all the way down to 200. It rallied back and topped out at around 370. This year's high is 246, and the stock is selling at $70. They're overpriced. Um, and the reason I say it's a commodity is because they're just processing. The processing transactions, which is why Google was interested. But really, they're one of the higher cost crypto exchanges. So, all right, everyone. Now, futures Dow up 25, S&P, which I saw down almost 30, is down 14 cents, and the Nasdaq, after yesterday's debacle, being the biggest loser because of the chip stocks, is down $6.47. Be careful.